I know there's nobody watching right now, but we're kind of gonna do just like a test drive of going live. Um, I'm actually in my miniature bar here, where I ferment uh, certain drinks, and this is mead. I've got a couple more batches over elsewhere that is like I got a strawberry wine going and a blueberry and lilac wine going, which that one doesn't taste very good. I don't know if I'm gonna keep on going with it. So um, I'm actually gonna pour myself a drink of mead here, and we're gonna take a tour, and I'm gonna see. I don't quite know how the chat works on the mobile version of YouTube Live. So if it works, it works. If I see what you're saying, I'll try and respond in a timely manner, and we can maybe start a discussion from there. But for now, I am grabbing some mead, and we're just gonna. I'm gonna set the. I'm gonna set the camera down here. I gotta grab this tube out of the filtration system. There we go. We're gonna just put this here. And do that. So get that in there, and then we're gonna put this airlock right there, and there she blows. All right, bring her up. So now that I've got my fermented honey drink, we're gonna head outside and take a small tour of the garden, or hopefully whatever we can take a tour of, because my internet is, let's just say it's technology. All right, so let's see. All right, come out here. See that I've got one viewer. Hey, how you doing? All right, so we're coming outside here. I'm gonna flip the camera around. This is our unfortunate harvest of onions. We hey, Scotty John. Hope you're doing okay. This was our onion harvest. Unfortunately, it wasn't very plentiful, but we've got something here. The weather's been real iffy. So, got a couple of sunflower stalks here that we picked from the out that way towards the tractor there. We've got a hay field. That's where I pulled those two sunflower seeds from, or sunflowers. And we're just gonna walk over here. I'm gonna see how much internet we've got. I've made a video in the past kind of about where we started, and this is where it all started, right here. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. So this is our stock tank that has some holes in it that we decided to use for a raised garden bed, but this is quote unquote the kitchen garden. We started out with these raised beds that were made from 2x12 Douglas fir structural lumber, and right now we just really grow the herbs in it. And it's kind of, we did have beans in this garden here. We had pole beans just along this little wall here. We had a little trellis that came up and over, and it was good. But now we had to graduate. We had to build a little bit bigger, and there's our garden down there. So we'll try and make our way down over there, but I wanted to show you the bees first. So over here, they're probably gonna smell this fermented honey that I've got in my hand. So let me put this kind of over here out of the way before I get stung. So these are bees that, or these are top frame hives that I got from the local beekeeper. They're a little upset because I harvested about 10 pounds of honey from them earlier today, but there they are. So they're working, they're doing their thing. They seem pretty happy. Oh, what are you guys doing? Why are you on the road? Sky, Piper, what are you doing? Get up here, come on. Come here. These are my puppies right here. What are you doing? Oh, okay, you're in the bees. That I wasn't expecting you to do that. Okay, but those are the good pups. All right, so I got these bees from the local beekeeper, like I was saying, and we originally started out with this Langstroth hive over here. This was the first, I think, if I'm remembering, I got a 5-frame nook from the beekeeper. And this hive specifically started the 3 hives that are over here. They swarmed. They went into this tree here. I managed to get them down and put them into one of the hives over here, one of the top bar hives. And when they went over there, they swarmed again up into that tree way at the top. And a couple days later, they swarmed right back. Oh, there goes Dean. They swarmed over to this hive, and oh, there he goes. Hey, watch the beehives. They swarmed back into this front hive here, and I split them again because they had a bunch of queen cells, and then I split them again, and so these 3 hives up front are now occupied and pretty busy. I'm not very experienced as a beekeeper, so I don't know what I'd probably be doing right or wrong, but I was very blessed to have them swarm back to the original hive. So, we're going to try and make our way down to the garden over here. And let's see. All right, internet's doing, it seems like it's doing okay. How's it look? Let me know. We're gonna try to do bees next year. Yeah, I watching a video. I don't know if it was Jeff Holcomb's bees on his channel on YouTube, or I can't remember exactly whose YouTube channel it was, but one of them was saying, or it might have been off grid with Doug and Stacy. Okay, perfect. So this is the big garden that we refer to, and it's good that the video and sound are good. The bees are the most difficult aspect. Let me flip my camera around here. We were told that beekeeping is the most difficult aspect of animal husbandry to get into. And before we even knew that, we just kind of dived right in. I was stationed out in California. I was military. I was Navy for 8 years, almost 9 years. And let me actually turn this way. There we go. And I'm actually in the trellis area right now. So this is our beans and we've got squash crawling up. We've got Canada crookneck squash. Let me see if I can come over here. So this is one of the smaller ones that are growing right now. And then on the other side, we've got a much larger one. Oh, there's my beautiful mug there. There it is. And so most of my time that I spent, probably about, I met Miss Hippie, as we refer to her. I met Miss Hippie, my second command, and both of us decided kind of right off the bat, hey, when we get out of the military, we want to be homesteading. There's nothing that I'd like more than to get out of the city and kind of live off the fat of the land, as Lenny would say in Mice of Men. And that's what we're doing. A lot of research went into it. Like I say that we kind of jumped right into beekeeping, but there was quite a bit of research that went into it beforehand. So it's not like, we're going in blind. We just had a hawk flew over. There's a hawk up there. I don't know if you can see that flying around. But there's a lot of preparation beforehand. And to say the least, it's a good thing that Miss Hippie and I decided beforehand to get a homestead, because it takes two to tango. I mean, when you're married, a lot of that. Oh, I'm just gonna sit down here. A lot of the. That's my dog barking, by the way. She's barking at my son playing with the RC car. That's her excited bark. What's stopping? Are you guys? Do you guys know any local beekeepers that you're planning on going through? Because that's what we ended up doing up here in Wisconsin. Started asking around and found the local beekeeper. I don't think he wants his name on YouTube, so I'm not gonna bring it up. But he ordered a couple. He ordered the 5-frame Nook from us, or for us, and then it came down to, it's like, oh, I feel like we don't have enough bees, so we ordered 4 pounds of bees. And I do have a couple videos about that. We do Our Neighbors Have Bees and an Admirable Garden. Oh yeah. Last year we tried to have the kitchen garden itself, and it did well. However, I think that if there was some more pollination. Hello, Miss Hippie. So this is Miss Hippie. I think that if we would have had a little bit more pollinators, because out here in Wisconsin, it's not very. It's slim pickings. And there's a lot of people that rent out their beehives to pollinate gardens. Do you know how big his or her garden is? Is it pretty sizable? I mean, we've got like a 50 by 80 foot garden, or maybe 50 by 60. Our garden was okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I tell you what. It's definitely. Oh, you want some mead? Here. The Miss Hippie wants some mead. There's just 30. Okay. Yeah. Fencing in is super important, especially out here. My neighbor around us, he does massive food plots for deer. I mean, he's
Everybody
like
does.
he's the trophy. Well, he's not a trophy hunter. He's a meat eater. But his food plots are massive, and we have a ton of deer traffic. I'm gonna flip the I'm gonna flip the video around here, and I'm gonna show you just kind of our fence setup here. So we have we supplemented hog. What is that, like the hog wire, honey?
Cattle.
Cattle panels. There we go.
Yeah,
It's the 3/8 inch welded cattle panel wire, and I did the 7-foot stakes, and I ran like an 18 gauge 18 gauge electric fence wire. It's not charged right now. I mean, when I do get it charged, the solar charger is gonna go there. That way I can turn it on and off whenever we're ready to go in. But it runs around the perimeter of the garden, and it keeps the deer out. I mean, our house. Oh yeah, Miss Hippie was saying something tried to get in right here.
Leaned on the fence.
Or leaned on it. Maybe it was the dogs. I don't know, but they. My son's room is that top window there, so he has a really good vantage point. And he told me, he's like, he seriously watches the deer. He's like,
his window.
And he's like, Daddy, I saw deer outside. I was like, Dean, were they in the garden? No. Okay, they're fine.
They were looking at it.
But they were looking at it. So, do you guys have a problem with deer where you're at, or what?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, here it's
if you
it's
don't
pretty
have
bad.
A fence, there's no garden.
Are you guys dealing with deer, or is that why you're behind, or is it just late planting? I wouldn't consider.
We did have a late winter.
We did have absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, that. Gosh, it is. Deer are a force to be trifled with there, because they're so beautiful and majestic, quote unquote, but
they taste good.
They taste good, and they're rats on stilts. That's the way I see them. Oh no, they ate everything you planted last year.
Yeah. If we didn't have a garden or a fence, there would be no garden. There would be nothing to eat.
Yeah. I was telling my buddy how much we spent. I mean, the fence. Gosh, I think we might have spent $800 on the fence for this 50.
Give or take.
I mean, they're 16-foot panels, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4.5 here. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good 50.
I'm gonna go plant kale in the
something. Okay, you're gonna plant kale.
Garden.
Okay. Well, she's gonna go plant some kale. So, bye, Miss Hippie. See you later. Do you guys have a tractor at all? Because our tractor definitely helped out tilling all the land. I'm sorry, I get off on different tangents. But a small John Deere. Okay, good. Yeah. We got lucky, or blessed, I should say. We were very blessed to find a 96. That's a good tractor. Oh, the 3035. I actually used to work at John Deere. I worked at John Deere as a setup mechanic for about a couple months after I'd gotten out of the Navy. And it was a huge culture shock going from military diesel mechanic environment to civilian diesel mechanic environment. It was just, and I felt like I didn't fit in. I had the VA breathing down my back. Even though that's another story in itself. But it was fun. I learned a lot about tractors, and like I said, we were very blessed. I got on the Facebooks one day, and we found a 96 Ford 1620, little 27 horsepower tractor, and the guy was moving, and we bought it from him, and had plenty of implements with it. It definitely made tilling this garden so much easier. I can't imagine hand tilling, because that is just, oh man, that's a feat. But yeah, the fence. I don't know. We kind of got blessed again. Like I said, the local feed mill over here. They had a bunch of old inventory for cattle panels, and we got them. I want to say we started planting the garden about. I tilled the garden 6 months ago, and we started planting and built the fence 4 months ago. They, gosh, it only cost us, I think it was like $24.99 a panel, because they're like, yeah, we've got this panel, but we can't get rid of it. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. And I mean, we put up our trellis for the beans and the squash, and put the fence up and all that, and it's been really nice. It definitely keeps the deer out. So, do you guys do fishing? Like, are you fishing for additional like food, or do you deer hunt or anything like that? I'm trying to see. I'm actually playing around with the phone right now, trying to see if I can pull up the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything here too. No, I want to see. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if I click on the screen. Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks for coming in, and if you ever watch this video afterward, thanks for stopping by and having a good discussion here. So, right now I'm just sitting outside and kind of just enjoying the view. We've got corn growing, and I'm gonna flip the camera around. We've got corn growing, beans. We got the trellis over here. I'm sipping on some homemade mead, MEAD, which is the mankind's oldest fermented drink, and it's very delicious as long as you do it right. And this is, we've got the three sisters growing in this patch and that patch, which I think we did it wrong. Let me actually walk around the garden here and see if I can kind of give you guys an example of, and I would appreciate any input, because this is only our second year of homesteading, and any advice is good advice at this point. But we try to do the three sisters, which is, oh, you can see all the grasshoppers jumping out. Hello, Mr. Wasp. How you doing? Wow, you're a very beautiful, large wasp there. Let's see if I can get close to you. Oh, you're fine. Oh yeah, yeah, I totally understand. I'm kind of risking it right now, because like our internet is just it. Yeah, it's spotty at the most. But I was seeing if you guys, so you do fishing, like just other things to kind of supplement food. Um, you know, do you do any deer hunting at all as well, or because this year I'm planning on harvesting quite a few deer. But like I was saying, this is the three sisters. You can see the corn stalks right here. They're kind of tangled up. They're I want to say next year when we do this, we're gonna try and do we're gonna try and do plant the corn first, and when the corn starts getting to about maybe 2 foot high, we'll plant, well, maybe a foot high, we'll plant the beans, chickens and turkey. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've actually been having a bit of a predator problem with our chickens. We'll get into that later if you want to remind me. But geese, duck, and deer. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. Good deal. Good deal. We're still on the fence. I think actually, me and Mississippi, we Mississippi. No, me and Miss Hippie, we kind of decided that ducks are a clean animal. Because they don't there's a bit of a discussion that can go into that. But getting back onto the topic of the three sisters, have you guys ever tried? Pardon me for the nose itch. Have you guys ever tried doing the three sisters yourselves? The planting trinity or whatever. I don't know what it is. I know that the Native Americans did it, where it's like the corn is planted, the stalks provide the trellis or the path for the beans to grow up, and then the squash kind of provide the ground cover. Because that's we've got two patches of that. One of them's working really well, and the other one I think is working too well. Let's see. No, come on. How do I bring the chat up on this mobile? There's live chat. That's what I want. Okay. I've wanted to, haven't seen anyone do it. Yeah, we're doing it. Let me flip it around again, but this is kind of a bad example. And like I was saying earlier, I think the beans, I want to say that the beans should have been planted after we planted the corn, because you can see right here where the beans, the vines are just kind of overtaking the corn stalks right now, which this one actually, gosh, it's so bad. I don't, the poor things, they're just so weighted down. If I can get this one up, I think they'll be fine, but let's see if we can do this. There she goes. All right, you're free. We'll get some water on you tonight and hopefully correct that. But I think that what you want to do is get the corn planted first, and then plant the beans when they're about a foot high. That way you can start training the beans to go up. And that's what we're going to try next year, like I was saying. But over here, this patch of the Three Sisters is actually doing quite well. We have bee sweet beans that we just harvested quite a few of them here. There's one of them, and this is an heirloom corn right there, and you can just barely see one of the squashes there. So this side is, we did it the exact same way as that patch, but that one seems to be struggling. So I don't know. I mean, if anybody watching this later on has any suggestions, I'm all for it. Because, gosh. So these are bush beans. We actually had a whole row planted of bush beans here, but it's been a bad year. Plus, I think the first year for any garden is kind of rough, especially whenever we're trying to, I mean, obviously we've got a lot of crabgrass, and the forest is trying to take over. We've got a lot of lemon clover there, which is delicious, by the way. Just don't overeat it. So this, I mean, it's been doing okay for a first year. In my honest and most humble opinion, I feel like we've been doing decent. So another thing that we didn't quite think about was the whole watering situation. So I know you probably see this hose, and there's a sprinkler there. I got another impact sprinkler up there, which I'm revamping this whole sprinkler system. one there and one there, which covers the whole garden, but it's kind of ineffective. Oh, there's all of our sunflowers too. So we've got one that flowered out. This is the tallest one. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been definitely a learning experience because, like I was saying earlier, we did a lot of research before we came out here. This is all of our tomatoes and tomatoes are over there, peppers kind of up in here. Uh, we did a lot of research, but research only comes short. This is right here. This is that people up here in Wisconsin, they call it popple, but it's an aspen tree. So the aspens, they've got this massive root system that they'll just pop up where. So you got to be diligent about picking those. But yeah, nothing really compared. Um, you can research something, but when you're doing it like real life scenarios, oh, that's an interesting looking bug there. Focus camera, focus, focus. There, check that thing out. I don't know what that is, but that's a very interesting looking bug. um, it doesn't compare to doing it in person, learning. I mean, there's certain aspects of homesteading that are just, there's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about, and just like with joining the Navy, like you're never going to hear any negative stories because, well, first off, you don't ask, and second off, they're not going to tell you because the recruiters want you to join the Navy. So, but I mean, we kind of had an idea of what we were getting into. I'm gonna come over here and sit down again. We had an idea of what we were getting into, and we're here, and we're not gonna give up. Um, we're dug in a little too deep, so that's where we're at. Let's see. Let me make sure. Wish there was a way to keep the chat. Welcome to the live chat. Remember? Okay. Well, yeah. Everybody's got to guard their privacy. But yeah, we started out. Pardon me, my throat's a little dry. Hang on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Um, we started out this what none of this was here. I mean, like I said, I used my tractor to just till this whole garden. You can kind of see the pump over there with the bucket on it. I drove that shallow. It's a Sandpoint well. Oh my gosh! Right. I mean, just how we were talking about chickens and turkeys and such. You know, we were finally. This is one of those hard stories to tell because, for one, yeah, it's on YouTube, but two, it's a learning curve. It is such a huge learning curve. We finally had our broody chicken that hatched one chick. One chick. And she stopped sitting on the rest of the eggs. She was so happy. She stopped sitting on the rest of the eggs. I found out later I put all the rest of the eggs into the incubator and I was going to try and sneak them in whenever they hatched. Kind of like say, hey, here's the rest of your children. Well, she stopped watching them. My incubator ended up failing. So we lost the rest of the chickens. And so broody hen was taking care of her chick. Well, we have a small pool for the like a little kiddie pool for the ducks. And I guess one morning when I was at work, Miss Hippie came out and found the one and only chick that it drowned in the pool, and it was really sad because that was the only one this year I think will hatch. And kind of round turning, we've had predator issues. Um, I've been staking out, trying to catch this predator, and it's just the darndest thing. Like we had 35 birds. We started out last month. We had 35 birds, and today we have like 10. And that's one of the hard stories about homesteading. Like, you can try your hardest, and that's still haven't found it. It's not leaving any evidence that it's even been there. I definitely know that it's not human interaction, because I'll flip this around. That road right there is a mile and a half long down to the closest main road. I mean, there's a one way in, one way out. So I know it's not human. I did find a couple evidences of like something trying to dig in at the main door of the coop, which we'll walk over there here in a second. Um, Hopefully, if I have service, but we'll see. Um, but that's just it. We went from 30, 40 plus birds to 10, and like, gosh, less than 4 months, and absolutely no evidence of uh, tampering at all. So, what are you gonna do? I built my chicken coop. I built a new run for the birds that are left over, um, and they're still taking onesie twosies out of the chicken coop once a day, twice a day, you know. But the best thing you can do is kind of just close them up, Um, so at night we close them up. We used to have them free range the whole time. Yeah, the big ouch. Um, I had a video. I've got a YouTube short somewhere. It's like titled "Behold the Chicken Army," and that's what we started out with. But you know, I got a buddy of mine that's local here. He's incubating 48 guinea fowl eggs for me, or something like that. I don't know how many he's incubating for us, but we're trying to get really into guinea fowl, because they're a little bit more gentle with, like, if I were to let them into this garden or that garden, they're better gardeners than chickens are, and they take care of ticks. Granted, they're really loud. They're, I mean, we call them the Karen Squad because they just nonstop, papa, papa, papa. That's what they sound like almost constantly. But when they start chittering, like, and like, when they start doing that, something's wrong on the homestead. They're pretty good guard dogs, but they're dumb. They're very dumb, and they're very loud, and that's why we call them the Karen Squad, because they're the Karens of ground fowl. I don't know how else to explain it, but plus they're delicious. So if you can get some to harvest, they're very good to eat. Um, I've had one, and that's it. But they're better caretakers than chickens, because guinea fowl they'll go off and do their dirt baths and whatever they're hunting. From what I've observed, at least, um, they'll more or less pick the bugs off. Then I must take my leave. Shalom. Yeah, shalom to you as well. Hey, take care, and hey, thanks for coming in. It was, I it was more than I could bargain for. I wasn't expecting to have anybody live chat. So, hey, take care and God bless. Okay. So I'm probably actually gonna. We've been streaming for about 40 minutes now. I'm probably gonna take my leave here myself. So, yeah, guinea fowl. Get guinea fowl if you can. All right, guys. Well, this was the Hippie Hebrew Homestead. This was kind of like a real nice test to see how the live chat works on mobile, and um, I'm gonna go ahead and recommend the Cutting Edge, John Hall, John Pounders. Go check them out because they're doing awesome work, and yes, definitely. Thank you very much. For anybody else that might watch too, check out the Cutting Edge on YouTube. Just straight Bible study. It's perfect. So, all right, I'm gonna head out. Hopefully we can do some more live streams. Talk to you guys later. Let's see. How do I even end this? Let's see. I think okay. All right, for real this time. You guys have a good one. Bye.